And it's Overreaction Monday, Rich. So what are you overreacting to?
Oh, what am I overreacting to? I think one way to overreact is, I don't know. I think that Seattle is in deep trouble. I think they'll find themselves. I think their rookie running back is going to take the reins at some point. And that Green Bay defense just looked terrific.
Yeah.
I still believe in Seattle. The Giants, you have to wait until Odell gets back in there to hit a panic button there. I am genuinely concerned about New England. They've never won a Super Bowl without a bye week, and that team doesn't look like a bye week team to me defensively, and that would concern me if I'm a Patriot fan, that they're going to have to play 4 playoff games to win a Super Bowl, like pedestrian NFL teams would have to do. So those are some concerns. The Texans definitely concern me because Bill O'Brien once again decided to go with somebody that he decided at halftime wasn't his starting quarterback anymore. But Deshaun Watson's very talented. A short week might not be the best time to throw him in the mix, maybe even if he is hobbled too. So those would be the genuine ones. But I would agree, though, that the Rams and the Colts game is indicative. I think the Rams do look like a real offense. I think that Cooper Kupp is a genuine rookie threat, and Todd Gurley looked like the rookie Todd Gurley, and Goff definitely looked far more professional ready than before. And the Colts are that bad. If I'm them, I'm not putting Andrew Luck in there. Period. Why in the world would you have him back from shoulder surgery and put him behind that offensive line? No chance. If I'm them, I would. Until I see better line play, he's stuck on the sideline.
Yeah, it might be strategic that you keep Andrew Luck out. I thought the same thing. If he's out for a couple more weeks and they're not winning, I don't know if I run the risk of putting him in there behind that offensive line. Who surprised you the most, though? If I looked at the Tennessee and Oakland game, how good Oakland was, or that Tennessee, who looks like they're a playoff team, did not look inspired when they're facing Oakland.
No, I thought, for a team that took a nice step forward last year and have, in my mind, all the pieces for their coach to come out and say, we're going to go onside kick to start the game. Yeah. And then say afterwards or at halftime that, we wanted to steal a possession. It's like, what in the hell message does that send to your team? That one was a complete head-scratcher. I mean, go out there, play defense, get the ball back, and play football. It's the 2017 season, fans are fired up. They were throwing catfish all summer long. They have that championship feeling in that town. That one I couldn't believe. And DeMarco Murray looked a little tentative to me. Maybe you'll end up seeing Derrick Henry a little bit more.
Yeah.
But they take on the team with the true surprise, though, DP. They've got to go to Jacksonville next week. And the first-place Jaguars, or first-place Jaguars, however you say it, that defense looked to be no joke yesterday.
Let me go back to the Texans who faced that defense. And I'm surprised that Bill O'Brien, after a half and maybe, 11 passes with Tom Savage, decided, okay, now I'm going to make a change here. Like, that to me is mind-boggling that it was that tenuous, that fragile, that you're going to go, man, if I don't see what I want to see in the first half, I'm taking you out. If that's the case, why were you starting Tom Savage in the first place if the hook was going to be that quick?
I'm completely lockstep with you. I don't know why Deshaun Watson wasn't the week 1 starter, for real. Except for the fact that Savage may have looked at in training camp, and DeAndre Hopkins was putting his chips in the Savage pile, which is interesting because of the Clemson connection with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
But if you're moving up to get somebody, and you have questions at the quarterback position, you got to start him. He's dynamic. He's a leader. If he's healthy coming out of that game, which is a question, then I think today you'll hear that Deshaun Watson starts Thursday night.
He's Rich Eisen, NFL Network. NFL Network will have that game on Thursday night. It's the Texans and the Bengals. The Cowboys game. What stood out?
How horrible the Giants looked offensively, and is it really Odell Beckham like the Jenga piece, which is what I've heard him being described as in the for the offense. You take him out, and the whole rest of it falls apart. I mean, I could not believe that they couldn't do a darn thing. And then when they did, it was, I don't know the other way to put it, like one of those maddening Andy Reid Eagles/Chiefs offenses up until this past week, where it takes 15 plays to go 80 yards and you settle for 3. That defense looks to be as good as advertised. Again, they held the Cowboys with that offense in that building to just 16 points. So if I'm the Giants, I take a good part of that away. But that offense looked brutal. And the offensive line has no ability to protect Eli with no run game. I don't care how Eli can play the game. No quarterback can handle that. And Dallas, I mean, as long as Ezekiel Elliott is going to stay playing, and despite the appeal that was filed today, it sure sounds like he's going to play a long time, if not the whole season, then they're a legit Super Bowl contender. Certainly if Jalen Smith looked as good as he did with Sean Lee, who's all over the place, and that. So, again, I just need to see them against an offensive line that's a lot better than the Giants before I buy it, and they'll take on Denver next week.
We always embrace a football cliche every year, the start of every year. Remember taking the top off the defense? 2016, you had to take the top off the defense there. We have the football cliche of 2017, if you're ready.
I am. Please.
Can you guess what the football cliche that every analyst must say?
No, I'm totally all ears. What do you got?
Set the edge.
Now, why would that be 2017? They've been setting edges for quite some time.
But it's mandatory that you have to say it. You have to set the edge, Rich. You have to set the edge.
Is that what I'm saying on Thursday night during the pregame show?
I think
on NFL Network.
When you turn to Mooch, say, Mooch, they have to set the edge tonight, don't they? The Texans do.
Or how about this? Michael Irvin's at the end of the set, and he's setting the edge.
I like that. Mike, you're at the edge of the.
He's setting it. He sets the edge. Nobody can get. Nobody. He's containing. He can't break contain.
Maybe
from Michael Irvin.
So we had take the top off the defense. Remember that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Setting the edge.
Three technique was a big one too. A couple years ago. Yeah. But I want you to be out in front of the curve here, that you're going to set the edge on Thursday night.
Well, Romo dropped the term cross dog a lot during the Titans-Raiders game.
What did you think of his performance?
I thought he was great, and I thought he was terrific.
You did. You co-signed on him early. Yeah, I remember you saying you'd heard great things.
I thought he's got it all. He's likable, and the only concern was could he be concise? Could he say his points quickly enough? I think he even got in Nance's grill a couple times. And so I thought he was great. He was really enthusiastic. Like he even screamed "roll tape" at the truck because he's so excited about a 4-wide situation that went well for Derek Carr, and he made the right decision. Like you could feel it I thought he was great. I really did. And he's only going to get better, I think.
But explain this to me. I would never be a network executive, but I would have put Romo in studio to take advantage of him there. I know that you have that number one team. We're lucky with Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, who become part of the fabric of the game. This is different, though. It's rare when you find a team like that is immersed in there. It's integrated into the game. Nance and Romo, I thought, had a great debut. But I get more out of Romo with his looks, his opinions. I can use him pregame for an hour. I got halftime. I got post. It just feels like I would get more out of him nationwide than I would with a Raiders-Titans game in Week 1.
Well, you're just assuming as well that he would have wanted to do that. He just, again, the passion that he had, the energy that he exuded.
Yeah.
Over he was like geeking out over sets and defensive looks. I think he just wanted to be personally. I mean, I haven't spoken to him about it yet, but I think he just wants to be at a game site, as opposed to sitting in a studio and watching games.
And that's as close as you're going to get without playing. And it felt like he was saying to you as a quarterback, I would say, here comes his safety blitz. Hey, I've got Cooper.
He was calling a shot.
Yeah,
He was calling a shot a couple times, and he was right. My only, advice, if I would give to unsolicited sense, is that with all of these sets that he's seeing, terms like cross dog, for people who are not X's and O's geeks, it confuses them. That's why Collinsworth is as great as he is, and Aikman is as great as he is they don't, you could still be a casual fan and understand the style of play that is being shown and having it described without, confusing people with very difficult football terms. But I thought he was great. I really enjoyed him.
Rich Eisen, NFL Network host, The Rich Eisen Show, following this one on DirecTV's Audience Network, Channel 239. Ricardo, it's good to talk to you.
DP.
Thank you, buddy.
Well, take care, buddy.
That's Rich Eisen.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.